We're going to have to figure something out, because I don't know why people are so... they don't want to actually debate.
Joe called him out. Remember that, Steve? When we did that show, and Joe in the middle of it goes, I want to debate Aron Ra, and I want to debate him as soon as possible. And I just stopped and said, no, you don't. No, this is the guy that...
Was that before or after? Was that before or after that he wanted to debate Dr. Mays?
Oh, that was before.
Okay.
I've been wanting to get into the debate circuit for a long time, and unfortunately, I didn't strategically plan this very well. The first time I was scheduled to do a live debate with anybody, it was somebody that I knew I'm gonna win this debate no matter what. However, I wanted, because my opponent was so weak, but I wanted more serious opponents to consider me later on. So I thought I would be a really objectionable, and so that these people would think that they could predict how I was going to be. So I steamrolled the guy that I debated the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened as a result is I never got invited to debate it again.
That's what I'm saying. I think your number one, your breadth of knowledge in these situations, and two, the I don't want to say aggression, but like a pit bull. You know, when they latch on, they don't let go. You know, you have to pry them off. I think that's what you get in these with. At least with Kent, I mean, you would not let him step away from that first question.
Nor should he. That was the whole point of the debate. Why would he let him walk away from that? Because everybody else has let him, right?
I've never seen it, and you guys are really turning me on to that, that
we
video.
like
so I'm going to have to go back.
Not seen it? Oh, man.
Oh,
it's.
I know that we talked about it prior to the show, but it's like, you know, I'm fascinated by this now. I want to watch it.
It's what my conservative grandmother would refer to as a clusterfuck.
It was fantastic.
Big time.
It's literally one of the greatest videos, not just because I'm biased because it's our show, but it's literally one of the greatest videos on the internet. Just to watch, because Kent, I don't know if you know who Kent Hovind is, but he has this way about him. You can watch a debate with him in 1980, and then a debate in 2013, and it's the same the same stuff.
Except that he adds a Green Mile every now and then, and Fighting Dory or something. I don't know.
Like lines. And what Aron did was that he's used to sidestepping questions and giving you a spiel. And Aron asked him one question at the beginning of the debate and would not let him move off that one question until he answered it. And for an hour and a half,
which he never did,
flailed around and tried everything he could to get out of answering that question, but he couldn't. And it was just fantastic to watch. It was great. It was like Jerry Springer meets Intelligence Squared debates.
So this is the guy that just doesn't want to be wrong.
Well,
Kent,
do you know who Kent is? I mean, have you heard Kent?
No, I've never heard of him before, but it sounds like
you are so blessed.
Yeah, we've dealt with Kent for a very long time. We've hosted many debates with him, so Aron's just one of the later ones.
He was famous back in the day. He had Dinosaur Adventureland down in Florida.
He was really famous once upon a time.
He was one of the most well-known creationists. Matter of fact, before Ken Ham, he was probably the leading creationist out there.
Right. Then he went to prison for structuring.
Tax evasion, structuring, 58 felony counts.
That's a polite way to put it.
58 felony counts, but according to his people, he did nothing wrong.
Of course he did.
I'm sorry, if you're convicted of one felony, might have been an error. 58 counts of felony, something's not.
I'll send you a link, though, Black Label, and you can watch it and tell me what you think. But it's literally glorious. You'll enjoy it. Get you a beer and a joint and roll up and watch it, and you'll be set. Fantastic. So that's all that I have on mine, Steve. I know you have some things.
We just have a couple super chats. By the way, I do want to thank Kent Hovind CPA for another $1. Thank you, Kent Hovind CPA. Best troll name ever.
You're getting donations.
It's a troll. It's a troll account, and I love it. Kent Hovind CPA. He gives us $1 for every show he likes. He has for quite some time now, and it's awesome.
Glorious.
I really enjoy that. It's like we get $1, we have a good show. So thank you, Kent Hovind CPA. Don't stop doing that. We appreciate it. I think he gave us $2 once. It was a really good show. I don't remember which one it was. Mr. Cook for $5. I've been in the Army 18 years and don't trust my soldiers with weapons. No fucking way I trust civilians. See, I disagree. Look it. I'm ex-military.
Look it.
That's my second one.
There's a good point. Steve McRae is ex-military. What does that tell you about the value of our military service?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, I had every branch trying to recruit me. Like literally, I had the Air Force, the Army, the Marine. Everyone was trying to recruit me. Don't know why I went Navy.
I want to clarify what I just said. My daughter is in the service right now, and the service has made it. Well, she was probably already Billy Badass before she joined the service, but
I'm sure. I wonder where she got that from.
This was not for me. This was from hard-earned life experience. School of knots kind of thing.
But I mean, you're not against civilians owning weapons, obviously, right? I mean, granted, soldiers generally have obviously a better, more experience with weapons. But just because you're not military doesn't mean that you shouldn't own a firearm. I just think that everybody should be trained.
I don't think that Americans should be deprived of their rights to buy pretty much most things that they want to buy. I mean, I'm a little concerned that they would buy, nuclear weapons or rice in packets or something like that.
Yeah, how's that scare you, Aron? I used to train people to operate 150 megawatt reactor cores. Think about that. Yeah, you're worried about a little fucking gun? No, I had a damage to destroy an entire city with nuclear radiation. So
the way I look at it now is if you think you need your gun to protect you against the government, you're done. You're going to bring a pistol to a drone fight?
No, I've said the same thing. Yeah. Having weapons because of worried about the government, being some kind of militaristic thing taking over your properties like that. Yeah, you're going to be screwed one way or another, right? Yeah. So that's not the reason I own a firearm. But personal safety, I'm fine with.
I have a problem. It's a funny thing that in my youth, when I was in my 20s, I actually did carry a medieval battle axe.
That's when they were invented about that time, right?
I'm not even kidding. I had it in my car where I could grab it in a moment if I needed it. And I practiced with this.
Were they considered new back then? Was that a new,
not all that
new
shocking,
weapon?
Though, because if anybody could get away with carrying around a medieval battle axe anywhere, it would be you.
Yeah, I'd be more like a rapier or a.
It's a funny thing that when you're in your 20s, the way that testosterone affects you, that somehow this is justified. And at some point, I realized when I was in my 30s that all these medieval weapons that I held on to and that I had professionally sharpened and tempered and everything, I realized these are just for turning people into meat.
Do you want to know how crazy it is that at BlackLabel,CopWatch mentioned this at the beginning of the show, how he liked the thumbnails of the Ken Hovind videos. They all feature you in medieval garb. Yielding a sword.
Some kind of medieval weaponry of some sort.
It's like I could channel that.
Do you own a mace or flail?
I don't have any of my weapons on my property anymore. I've relinquished them all to somewhere else so that they're not in-house any longer. Some of them were pretty awful.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I had an axe that I could throw like a spear that would pierce both your nipples at the same time. But
I don't know if I'm turned off or offended right now.
Yeah, wait a minute. I want to see that in action.
Yeah, it just seemed wiser not to have these things in the house.
Probably a wise decision. A couple more super chats. Cookie Nibs, $10. I would totally call cops for smelly smoke from a barbecue. If I can smell it, you must share it. I agree with that, right? Friendly neighbors.
Yeah. But that goes back to what I said before. Bring over a rack of pork ribs.
Fuck yes.
That's like a minimum contribution to the fire, right?
And a Sandring, $10. I'll debate Aron. What you think? Debate which My Little Pony is best. LOL. You know what? I don't know what would happen to my reality if I found out that Aron Ra was a brony.
Oh,
I don't know if I can handle that.
It has to be true.
Your reality is secure.
Okay,
sir.
Good. I'm not trying to judge. Nothing against bronies, guys. Watch what you want to watch. I've never seen one, so I can't really be. I've seen excerpts from them.
It's different. It's different. It's a different thing. I will say that it's different.
I mean,
sure.
I get the furry thing, kind of, maybe.
I don't even get the furry thing.
I don't know. I'm trying.
Whatever.
But whatever.
Yeah, I don't even get the furry thing.
Barely. I just.
BlackLabel, where do you fall on furries?
Should we do furry audits?
Don't answer questions. I plead the fifth.
Wise man.
That was the wisest response I've ever heard on the Non Sequitur show.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have too many wise responses on this show.
We're gonna let you guys close us out by saying any last minute thoughts that you have, or especially letting everybody know where they can find you. And I would just want to say two things. If you can, make sure that you support both these gentlemen. I'm sure I know Aron's got a Patreon. I don't know about Black Label, but whether they take donations or a Patreon, go support them. They're doing really good work, and they're making change happen. And that's something that I think needs to be supported and make sure that it continues to happen. So with that, we'll let them, Black Label, we'll start with you. You can let everybody know where to find you, where to support you, and then any last minute thoughts that you have.
Sure. You can find me. My website is blacklabelcopwatch.com. It's where I post a lot of just articles that deal with cop news and auditing news. Also, my YouTube channel is just called Black Label Cop Watch. It's very easy to find. The only thing I would have to say is that, just be careful when you're out there dealing with police. Just be careful, how you react with them, because they worry about us. They're trained to think that citizens are the enemy, and that's not the way it should be. I think what we do with cop watching and auditors, I think our main job and our main focus, the mission is to educate the public, to let them know that they do have rights. That if you don't use them, you're eventually going to end up losing them, and that's not what we want. I want my son and my kids to grow up in a world where they can actually walk down the street without being accosted, for what they're doing, and which is completely legit and legal and innocent. There's nothing wrong with filming or taking pictures in public. And then, that's pretty much it. And, I always have this tagline that I like to use at the end of the show. And let
me stop you right there, Black Label, because that's what I was actually going to tell you. I want you to close out the when after Aron goes, we'll let you close out with that and your voice modulator. I think that'd be a cool way to do it.
But yeah, definitely. I'll definitely do that when he's done. But again, guys, just, always record the police and everything you do, because it could save your ass in many different ways. And it also could find those bad ones that should not be on the force. And also, just one real last thing I'm going to say is also, please also record those good cops. Let the world see that we do have good cops out there, if there are any. And I will say this, that in my opinion, there are good cops out there, but they're too afraid to make themselves known because of that thin blue line.
And the link to subscribe to Black Label Cop Watch is in the video description, and I did put in the live chat. I mean, obviously he has a large channel, but you know what? We could probably double that. Let's help to get him to 200,000, because he's at like 111,000. But even that, I think, is quite low for what you guys do. And I was complimenting on her and in the live chat, and I'm just really supportive of you guys. So support their channels,
and definitely support this next gentleman getting ready to close us out, because he definitely is affecting change. I read all the time comments, even on our videos, because he is on several, about how he's either changed their mind or I have actual close personal friends that I didn't even know watched our show that reach out and say that Aron changed the way they even teach in their own classrooms. So make sure you definitely support this next one. But after you, sir.
Thank you very much. That is humbling, to say the least. I don't have anything to add. This is not this show is not about me. So let's refer back to Cop Blocker.
Oh boy,
oh boy.
I love that. Cop Blocker.
You promised me that you would not do that to me at the beginning of the show.
He said he wouldn't call you Poopy Head, is what he said, if you remember correctly. Or that he would call you Poopy Head. I don't remember. One or the other. Poopy Head.
All right. Now, guys, we'll be back. Actually, Steve, are we going to talk about the church thing tomorrow?
Is that tomorrow?
It's Saturday.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Let's bring it up. And by the way, he can do his outro. I just want to let you know, after he does his outro, I'll do my outro, but we'll be hot mic'd, so I can't turn it off. So don't talk shit about me when we're off air, because we won't be off air. There you go.
I like how you put that that little disclaimer in there. We'll update you. There was a report that came out this week about the Catholic Church and a lot of ugly things that happened. And Steve and I thought that we would get with KC and do a little talk about it. We're actually going to get the Friendly Atheist to come on in either next week or the next to go into it in detail, because he was the one that did
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've talked. Did you know what? Do we have that interview?
We've already had him.
Yeah, but
we've already had him.
We published that interview, didn't we?
No, not yet.
Oh,
not. Oh yes, to YouTube we have.
We haven't published
it.
Okay, but we haven't published.
On the podcast
because we